Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. So of course, as you could tell from the title for today's video, I'm going to apply makeup products that you all, according to you, are cult classic beauty products. I have some of my own, but I kind of wanted to verify with you all, and reason why I posted on my community tab asking what you thought were cult classic beauty products. Now we're going to decide if these products still hold that title, and I came up with the idea for this video because I saw one of Khaki Review's makeup videos. She also went through a lot of cult classic products, but I believe the list that she came up with was from her own memory and TikTok, because apparently some cult classic beauty products are becoming popular on TikTok. I'm not on the app. I don't plan on getting on the app anytime soon, so I don't know how true that is, but yeah. She sparked the idea of me also filming a similar video and asking for your help. So thank you all of you who did answer my question. It helped out this video so much. Yeah, okay. If you are new here, hi, hello. I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you can click the subscribe button. Hopefully choose to stay for a while. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Okay, let's get started. Okie dokie. So primers are on. I went in to the Rhode Glazing Mist, the V Supernova in the little balm jar, and Nisamyric's balm powder for my T-zone. The only two primers, and there wasn't a primer named in my post on my community tab here on YouTube, but the two that I want to say for sure, the Benefit Professional. I feel like this has been around for at least 10 years, right? And everybody swore by this. I still have it. It's probably expired, if not close to being expired. I do use this from time to time, but it doesn't hold my oils at bay in my T-zone. There's definitely better products out there than this one, but I feel at the time this one was thebomb.com, and I would say I think it's definitely been dethroned. The other one that I recall is the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I do enjoy this. I still have it. It's probably expired and I probably need to replace it. But you can see I have loved and abused this. It's still beautiful. It's still wonderful. I do enjoy it, but I definitely feel like you can get a very similar vibe to this for a much more affordable price. So I will also say that I think this one has been dethroned. Not because it isn't good. Yeah. So these are the two primers that I can think of. Let me know if I didn't mention one that you think is a cult classic. Okay, for foundation, Estee Lauder Double Wear was one that was mentioned like pretty much for all of them. It Cosmetics CC Cream. I unfortunately don't have the It Cosmetics CC Cream. I did have to declutter that because it was expired, and I've never personally owned the Estee Double Wear. It just seems like it's too full coverage for my personal taste, and so I just never bothered to purchase it. One that was not mentioned was the MAC Face and Body Studio Radiance. Now it has been reformulated since like the bigger bottle that we remember and recall seeing everyone use 10+ years ago. I do think this is a beautiful one, and I can see why people are still absolutely loving this cult classic. Okay, I have shade C3, which if I remember correctly was described as a light medium with neutral undertones. Now this is not a full coverage foundation, and I would say it's maybe a little bit more of a, maybe a tint, like a foundation tint, because the coverage is not full coverage. This is a Makeup Forever. I think it's the 109. The number has already erased on this. Yeah, I feel like anything MAC Cosmetics, it's pretty much a cult classic, and MAC was definitely mentioned quite a lot for the answers for my post on my community tab. Okay, for concealer, Tarte Shape Tape was mentioned a few times. I did own the original, but I decluttered that the first chance I got because even though everybody was using it, it just was not working that great for me. It was a little bit drying, it was too heavy, and I would have to use like little to no product to even make it work for me. Now I do know that now they have like a glowy one. It's not as drying. Yeah, the Tarte Shape Tape was just never a personal favorite. The NARS Creamy Concealer was also another one that was mentioned. I love that one. I actually just panned the mini that I had. And then MAC. I feel like MAC was mentioned a lot, but I don't want this to just be a MAC Cosmetics video. I can save that for a different video. So the MAC Studio Finish Concealer, I have NC25 is another one that I feel is definitely a cult classic, but we're not going to use this today. I do enjoy it. It's a beautiful one. It's a cult classic for a reason, and I think it's still pretty good. Another one that was mentioned was the Hourglass. So this is what we're going to use today. I'm close to panning this as well, and I probably won't be repurchasing this concealer because I actually don't love this concealer. It's okay. It's a little heavy and drying, and I have to be very careful about how much I use of this concealer because it can get heavy and at hand quite easily. I feel like we saw so many people use this and state it was a favorite, but a lot of the people that I heard saying it was a favorite, they love full coverage under eyes. I don't love full coverage under eyes. I'm gonna use this Tarte concealer brush. Yeah, so what shade? I didn't even tell you what shade. I have shade Cedar. Yeah, so let me know if you agree about the Hourglass concealer. I think I remember Tanya saying the same thing that I just said about this concealer in a recent video. It's just, yeah, like even right now I'm blending it and it's drying down so quickly and I'm having a hard time blending it into my skin. It's just, I'm not the audience for this concealer. That's it. That's all it is. But I do remember this being loved and adored by so many of the people that I watch that create beauty content. Okay, now as far as contours, not too many were in the market 10 years ago. The Kat Von D, and I'll put a picture of the palette because I no longer own it, and I believe the one that I did own was the powder. Was it the powder? No, it was the cream, and it was gifted to me. Face and Light and I don't know, that palette. I feel like everybody, and I do mean was using that palette for contouring, and also the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. There was only 2 shades available then. She has added to the line just within the past year, which was long overdue, and I don't know why it took her so long, but she has added to it. Now, I wouldn't say they're all contour shades. I would say I got shade Light, I think, so the one below this one. And for me, it's more of a neutral, so I can use it as a bronzer kind of shade. We're gonna use this one for today, and then for cream bronzer, the Chanel Beige was a top one that was mentioned. And I do own 2 different shades. I own Soleil Tan Medium and Soleil Tan Bronze. There was only 1 shade available in this when they first launched it, I believe. Or maybe 2. Maybe, I don't know. But they have finally added, now we have a medium and a tan. So only 3. And I don't think the darkest is dark enough. Yeah, so obviously Chanel has some work to do in some areas, and they have reformulated this year. We just haven't gotten it here in the US. It's a different formula, and I believe this mini one, because it's a travel size, is also a different formula than the original. They took out some ingredient. Okay, so I have the original shade, which is Fair Medium from the Charlotte, and I do enjoy this. It's a fairly easy formula to use. It blends out very nicely. Like everybody else, the main problem was that there was only 2 shades. Let me apply this and you'll see how scary this can be for somebody who has fair skin. And then I don't think the dark one, someone who has dark skin like Gloria would have been able to use it as a contour or even as a bronzer. There was just a lot that needed to be fixed. I don't know if now the darkest one she did add is dark enough, but as you can see, it did blend out pretty nicely. Not too opaque. It has a kind of a translucent base, and it was so easy to use. So I can see how this was a cult classic, but only for like half of the people out there, right? I'm just glad she added more shades and finally listened, but there could still be some improvement with what she has to offer to her audience because she does lack in some departments. Yeah, so I do enjoy this and I can see why it's a cult classic. Would I say that it still deserves that title? I think you can definitely get similar, if not better quality for a much more affordable price. So these have like a little plastic cap so that they don't dry out. This is the original shade and this is the medium. You could see that they do. Let's try the lighter one, which I believe was the first original shade that they came out with, and put some of this, and then I'll put a tiny bit of the medium because this one, it's winter, so I can use it right now. It's a little bit on the light side and I do enjoy this formula. It's really nice. I can see why people use it. I mean, I feel like, now I'm going to use the tan one or medium. Time and time again, when we see like the Vogue episodes where celebrities get ready, we have seen the Chanel Le Beige cream bronzer being used by a lot of the celebrities. It's a loved product, but I just wish they would improve their shade range. Would I say this still holds its title? I would say no. I would say no. It's still a beautiful product and I enjoy it, but there's definitely better out there for sure. Okay, for powders, I don't feel too much was mentioned other than the Hourglass Holiday Face Palette. I don't see really. The Charlotte Tilbury powder. I should have used that for my under eyes. I already set my under eyes, by the way. I used the Givenchy Prisme Libre pressed setting powder 03 something blanc, I think. Laura Mercier. I feel like Laura Mercier was used by just about everybody. Jaclyn Hill would rave about it. Laura Lee would rave about it. Everybody would rave about it, and with good reason. It's a good powder. Now, would I say it's absolutely amazing? No, because it does not hold my oils at bay with every foundation that I use it with, but it is a really good powder because what it does hold my oils at bay, boy is it beautiful. And I believe, have they reformulated? This is a couple years old, probably expired, but I'm gonna say I've used at least half of it. Yeah, let me know if you enjoy the Laura Mercier because honestly, I don't know. I don't hear anyone still using this, I don't think. It's a pretty one. Like, my skin looks so healthy right now. Oh my goodness. Even my under eyes are actually looking pretty decent. But I didn't go in with too much concealer. Right, I did not put any cream blush because no cream blush was mentioned. Nor do I feel like 10 plus years ago was cream blush really a thing. Right? Okay, for bronzers, the Laguna NARS bronzer. I have a mini individual one, but I don't know where it's at. So I have this face palette here and it's a Orgasm blush, which is another one that was mentioned for blushes, and the Laguna bronzer, and then also the airbrush bronzer from Charlotte was mentioned. And I feel like, yeah, everybody used to talk about this bronzer and everybody used to say this is the best bronzer to ever exist. So this is what we're going to use today. Now, I don't know how long ago the Gucci bronzer, something Eclat, right? I do own that. I don't know if I would say that's a cult classic. And also the Tom Ford, I own that one in, is it Terra? Yeah, I don't know if those are like considered cult classics. We call them cult classics. But these two for sure were mentioned. I think I'm going to use a combination of both. Why not? So let's start with the Laguna bronzer. And this is Sonia G TF2. The mini that I have from NARS is the reformulated formula. They took out talc. I don't think Miss Charlotte has reformulated her bronzer. I'm just gonna dip back and forth into the NARS and the Charlotte Tilbury. I do enjoy the Charlotte Tilbury. It's really nice. I think just like a lot of other products in her line, she needs to extend the shade range and give us more appropriate tones. But yeah, I do feel it's a beautiful one, and everything about it, the packaging, it's huge. Even though this cost, is it $55? $60? Like, I still haven't gone through this since I purchased it. I think for both of these, formula wise, I would say, yeah, I would say they should still hold to the throne as being cult classics, because they're still really, really good. Okay, now for blush, NARS Orgasm was mentioned a few times. I do enjoy this blush, but I feel like it's a very shimmery formula, and I do have to really build it up. I also have a mini here of Orgasm X, which came after a couple of years since Orgasm. This one I enjoy a tiny bit more. It's just more pigmented. I can work with this one better. I do feel though like this one's getting a tiny bit of hard pan. In Hourglass powders, face palettes were also mentioned, and I feel like we've been seeing people rave about Hourglass blushes for quite some time. Why don't we mix both of these? This is the Sonia GTF3. So let me go into which this is. My kids are being loud. At Night is the name of the blusher in my Hourglass face palette. Beautiful, beautiful. I do enjoy Hourglass powders. They have magic in them. I'm now gonna dip into the NARS Orgasm X. Yeah, I would say I prefer Orgasm X over the original Orgasm. Okay, how pretty does my base look? It does look a little bit more full coverage than I normally go for. But it's fine. The base is good because it is the MAC face and body. Okay, so for eyeshadow, that's where you're a little bit closer. MAC Cosmetics eyeshadows. Now I'm guessing singles is what they meant. I unfortunately don't own any singles, and I probably should buy some singles, right? But I do own a couple of MAC cosmetic palettes, and I do really enjoy them. I think the formula is beautiful. It's like your old school traditional formula. The shimmers are not like super bam in your face like indie brands. So I would say it's probably a little bit more popular towards more mature skin. The reasoning is because they just last better on the lids. Just like I've been mentioning that I have been having some issues with creasing. All of the beautiful sparkly shades that indie brands offer, some of them the formulas just don't last as well as, say, a traditional shimmer that's more of a sheeny shimmer than less sparkle. So that's why I say more mature skin prefer that. And I get it. I now get it. Okay, so I pulled out a couple of my Anastasia palettes. The very first palette I purchased from Anastasia was Modern Renaissance. Do y'all remember how popular this one was? I did also purchase the Sultry palette, which was a limited edition one, and I believe it was their first cool toned palette. Yeah, this one I have enjoyed quite a bit. I also pulled out the Carly Bible palette because I feel like this one did not get enough love when it came out. And there's no one to blame but Anastasia, because they launched, I think, the Carly Bible palette first, and then shortly after the Jackie Aina palette, which I also own, and it's also absolutely beautiful. This is what we're gonna use today for my eye look, and I should be fine, I think. So I think I'm gonna stick, actually, you know what? I might dip into all three. So maybe we'll start with the Modern Renaissance. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna jump into this LMR Cosmetics crease brush, and we're gonna jump into Raw Sienna. Use this as a crease shade. Now I do feel that Anastasia has worked on their eyeshadow quality since these palettes. I do have some of their newer ones. Probably need to pull them out and use them. All right, now we're gonna jump into the Sultry and use Dystopian, the dark brown. Oh my goodness. Outer corner. I think I'll use shimmers from the Carly Bible. Yeah, and see, these are still working fine. I don't see any of the shades looking suspicious. Okay, I'm gonna jump into my Lit glitter primer. And some right in the center. And I'm gonna use this one here, Libra, from the Carly Bible matte. Okay, and I'm gonna jump into this one here. Boli, B-O-L-I. This one's more of a sheeny shade. Well, no, actually it does have a couple of glitter sparkles. Okay, so the lightest matte in the Carly Bible, it's very yellow leaning, bare. And then the one in the Sultry Fresh, it's a little bit more nude. And the one in the Modern Renaissance, I feel maybe has a little bit more peach in it. It looks very similar to Fresh, except Fresh from the Sultry palette looks lighter. So we're gonna use the one in a Sultry palette before from Blend Bunny. This is gonna be Inner Corner shade. And there it is. Here is the ABH eye look. Right, as far as eyebrows, Benefit was named on there. Anastasia brow pomade. I might still have it, but it's like close to 10 years old, so I'm not gonna use it. I also don't use pomade, but I don't have too many brow products, so I went into my Melt Cosmetics brow pencil and this MAC brow gel here. What is it called? Pro Locked Brow Gel. Okay, nobody mentioned a highlighter, but I feel like we cannot do a cult classic beauty products video without mentioning the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter. I purchased this, I think it was around the time that Lipstick Gate happened. When was that? 2019, I think. And it was a mini. And I actually feel that this tone is a bit dark for me. I feel like it does leave a cast when I use it. So I did not fall in love with Champagne Pop from Becca. A lot of people raved about it, but I was not one of them. I also feel Ofra Cosmetics. I do have one, hold on. Sorry, I had to find it. Glazed Donut. This is a collab they did with Nikki Tutorials and Cowboy something, I think is their most popular shade before Glazed Donut, the collab they did with Nikki Tutorials. So here, let me show you Champagne Pop. Again, not a favorite. I feel the tone is a tiny bit too dark and it does leave a cast on my cheek. What I mean by a cast is when I'm looking head on, you can see a shadow and I don't like that. This Champagne Pop is pretty old. Yeah, there it is. It's not, like I said, I never fell in love with Champagne Pop and I'm glad that I have a mini. I mean, it doesn't even matter because it's probably so expired. Let's go into the Ofra Glazed Donut. This is, by the way, a Sigma Soft Blend 20. And this one, you can see right away, it's a little bit more poppy. I don't enjoy the super beaming, see me from outer space kind of highlighter. So I go lightly when I use these, which is mostly when I'm like reminiscing or talking about makeup from 10 years ago. Okay, so for lip products, MAC was definitely at the top of the list. I totally agree, and I feel like they still haven't lost it. They still have amazing lip products. So I did pull out Stone Lipstick, even though this is a new shade. It's a MAC lipstick. And then I do have here, this is the Powder Kiss Liquid Lip Color in its Personal, also a new shade. But I also feel that Melt Cosmetics, their lipsticks, but like the old school bright colorful, are also a cult favorite. Not by everyone, but I feel like MAC Cosmetics, but I feel like those Melt lipstick were used quite a bit. I also feel like Lime Crime. Lime Crime was a favorite and everybody and anybody was buying Lime Crime liquid lip products. Another one, the Huda lipsticks. So I think the matte ones came out first. The matte lipstick, this one is in Board Meeting. I do remember really enjoying these and I feel like everybody was as well. And then she came out with the cream lipstick. I'm pretty sure these were after the matte because back then matte lipsticks were a thing. And this one is in Honey Bun, which I think is one of my most used ones. And then this one is Hustler. yeah, so many good options. I can't think of any other lip products, so if you can, let me know down below. Let me pick a lip liner and a lipstick combo and we can add those real quick. Okay, for the lip liner, I ended up picking Iconic Nude from Charlotte. I would definitely say it's a cult classic. I don't know how long it's been out, but I think it's been at least 10 years. And I do enjoy this lip liner. I feel a lot of people still use this lip liner. At the time, it was one of the more lip liners that lasted all day long, like a long-lasting lip liner. And the tone, it's a perfect contouring tone for me personally. Okay, let's try a tiny bit of Hustler and see if that's the lip combo I'm looking for. Can you hear my kids? My goodness. Yeah, I think that works. Okie dokie. No setting spray was mentioned, but I think the Morphe setting spray and the Urban Decay All Nighter, they broke up. So, okay, let me go off camera, assess the situation, come back, and we can end this video. All right, my loves, here it is. Here is the full completed makeup. I think everything looks so pretty. The eye look is definitely a little bit more cool toned, but I'm not mad at it. I like it. I think this is a very pretty eye look. Everything looks beautiful. This lip combo, I think I have done this lip combo before, especially when I was really using the Huda lipsticks. How fun was this video? I had fun. I hope you did as well. Picking up old, I guess you could say classic, cult classic beauty products and just remembering who you saw using it, who maybe helped you discover the product, and if those people are even still on YouTube. It's just so fun. It's so fun. It's very nostalgic. I feel like everything's coming full circle and things are coming back. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said already, it was so much fun just using some of these nostalgic products that I feel everyone was using 10+ years ago. I love you all so much. Thank you for your support, the love, the comments, the likes, the hype. Thank you. I'm so happy. Okay. With that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!